Okay, good morning, people. It's Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation back at you this morning doing a Y bit, and I'll have a GDXY out for you. So Y bit had trades. Let's jump in. BITO, our underlying, went up 1.07. And what did we do? Well, we only went up 0.23. Boy, did we lag that performance. All right, to 17.8. So I'm really liking Ybit this month for a nice payout. I gotta tell you, peoples, it would be something if they paid more than Misty, and they may very well. So let's get into it. All right, so they had 50,000 shares. It's a good amount for them, but very small. So they put on a synthetic, and they put on the same number of shares in their naked call selling. They went out to 628, right? I always try and differentiate these on color. So they got a nice 44 cents. Again, it's been a while. Got a 47, a 42, some 43s, but a lot better than the 19 they got. Now, the bad news is it isn't very far out from this week, and we're close this week on a couple of these, right? This big 84.50 is out there at 28.5. So is that right? I'm looking on another monitor here at, I got 10,000. No, that should be a 25.5. Sorry about that, guys. It just sometimes gets messed up. I look at the cumulative holding. But still, we're at 24.48. Bitcoin is down. I said that in my Misty and Coney. Let me get it. Yeah, 63,850. It's still down 1,250 as we get into a half an hour for the market open. So it doesn't look like Bitcoin is going to challenge, nor BITO, right, the futures product on Bitcoin, is going to challenge these calls this week. So that's a positive. We continue to collect that money. So on top of these 525, we also did a pair on the more recent 35 synthetic. And because it's so far out there, guys, we pick up a lot of money, right? We got 19 million when we wrote it because we had like a $14 million loss on the 36. So that gave us more cash. And look at this, we buy a puny little call, but the good news, we're all the way out to August 2nd. So there's no concern that this is truly a paper loss with no threat to have to, get assigned, because that's not the nature of these options markets that Yieldmax plays in. So we got a 19,766,000 win. Now we have a liability of 16 million. Again, it's like the paper loss. But let's go take a look. And we got 42 days till expiration. So there's our June profits moving up, and I'll show you in payouts. It's not going to take that long. So let's look at our weeklies. I added this one. This is all those other ones, right? So these two numbers add up to the total 2550. 4.17, right? 4%. Normally crypto can do that, not when it's going the opposite way. So very low probabilities. Low probability that this one gets executed. Never say never. And then we put on 525 out next week. I color coded it different, right? That makes me nervous, but hey, maybe as I was talking about in Misty and Coney, if you watched it, maybe we're headed to 60,000 or lower. Who knows? Maybe this is triple witching, a false breakdown, and we turn around and go back in the 65,000 channel next week. Let's see, peoples. Okay, so let's go over to holdings. We've captured everything, right? I mean, we've captured 88. Now, this one we've only captured 55, but we didn't sell it for very much. Only sold it for like 17 or 19, right? I think 19. But it's a 25, but doesn't look in jeopardy. What am I seeing in, let me give you a correlative, let me give you a bid-o price. Hold on. In the pre-market. So bid-o is showing 23.95 by 23.97. Yeah, we're down from the 24.48. Now, again, these things can get volatile on a triple witching. But assuming we win this, which I think is a very good likely, we're looking pretty good, folks. Again, I'm not going to do what I did last time. You know, the definition of insanity is you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. So I don't want people yelling and going, boy, you blew that one. I know most of you guys are really nice and you understand when I explain that it's always up to Yieldmax. But so I'm just going to give you a conservative, you know, so far, and hey, anything can happen. This is an anomaly. I can't really get this fixed. This NAV is based on net assets, and when I add the net assets and I look at the valuation that Yieldmax sent out, this is the share count. I get a crazy number here of 1946. This should be in line, but it's not. Well, they got a lot of cash because they're selling these synthetics and they're collecting. They got that paper liability, but that's all it is right now, this 16 million paper liability. And that's up from 9. But it's interesting. They're winning their weekly. So let's just get into it. I don't think there's a lot else. Here's the 50,000 shares. Let's talk about this payout. So they're killing it on the weekly. They've been winning all the time. Why? Because BTC hasn't really been going anywhere, so bid-o hasn't been going anywhere. They don't get huge premiums in their weeklies, but they're winning them all, right? So they got 34 cents, and look over here. Because they're choosing, but they did the same thing up here. They went from a 26 to a 29 to a 36, and they captured all this money, and look what they paid. They paid $1.37. They didn't pay $2 because they had a big liability out there when the way they're using to write those calls way out of the money like that. But giving us an 81% yield, at that time the stock was, you know, maybe 19 and a half. I don't remember the day before declaration, but it was close to 20 and then high 19. And we got an 81% yield. So here we are sitting at, you know, 1770 or something, right? Well, what was the close? 1780. I mean, I don't want a bunch of people to go out to buy this thing and say it's going to pay $2 or $3 and come back and bruise you, you know. Don't do that. If you're bullish on it, because I tell you what, it's not looking like Coney and Misty. Coney's doing better. Coney should be in the mid-dollar range, okay? And that's a good for its price. If Misty only pays $1, $1.20, you know, people are used to $3, $2.50, $4. I mean, eventually they're going to pay $1. And it's, you know, I said they'd probably hit for the cycle. I've been saying that for 10 or 12 days. And hoping they wouldn't, but they probably will. What if these guys beat Misty? Wouldn't that be something? But again, don't run out and buy it because I said it. People are buying it anyhow because it's cheap. If you love BTC and you have confidence, this gives you an opportunity, right, to get into a cheap Bitcoin fund. Now again, is Bitcoin going to go to 52 from 63? I hope not. Could it? Absolutely. But at some point, YBIT stops going down, even if bid-o goes down, likely, right? Maybe it goes to 15, but Misty will get hurt a lot more than YBIT when you only go so far down when they're collecting money in the way they're doing it. All right, so that's what I got. Sorry, I moved out of the page I meant to stay on. All right, so we're killing it on the weeklies. On the 26/21, $36 million strike, it's now, and that was when I was saying we were going to have to roll, right? So I've talked to you. We do have a $16 million loss, right? But we've also got 12, 9, 13 in million, and we have a long time to fix that in weeklies to catch up. So, you know what? Yieldmax probably at a, depends on what our NAV is, but if it's 17 or 18, maybe they pay us $1.50. I mean, I'd love to think they're going to pay us $2.50, $3 and get all excited. But after last time, I don't really believe that. I think they'll say, hey, if we pay you $1.50 on a $17 stock, it's probably pretty close to 90 to 100% yield. And maybe they don't even intend to do that. But wouldn't that be nice? Because Biddles hasn't paid that. Biddles paid a $1.79. Well, it's paid $1.79, but guess what? Last time Biddle did that, it was $27. So a world of difference. Maybe these guys want to show somebody that this is a really good fund and get it capitalized with a lot more shares. So anything's possible. If I had to guess, I'd say $1.30 to $2 right now. Again, we're not there yet, but it doesn't look like anything's going to knock it down today, and they're going to write another set of calls next week, and if money flows in share count, they're going to sell more, and the synthetic money is going to grow. The liability might grow, but the synthetic piggy bank's going to grow. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you. I hope that explains it. I know everybody doesn't completely understand, but I just cannot take the time anymore to give you 30-minute single fun information. I'll do my best at times to throw a little education in there. Okay, Bruce out, guys. Have a good trading day, working day, vacation day, whatever you're doing today, stay-at-home day, kids' day. All right, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. This is fun and education. See ya.